Let's learn Nihongo easier and faster for beginners, part 2. I'm actually here in our old house. It is around 70 years old. You can see the structure of it. But by the way, let's go back into the topic. I actually did a part 1 of this video and I just thought of adding more techniques that I used to do when I was learning Japanese. I studied for 2 years in a Japanese language school and they never actually taught me these methods that I'll be teaching in this video. I find it very useful and effective, so I thought of making a whole video of it. このビデオも最初のビデオと同様に5つのパートで構成されます。私は日本語を2年間学んでいますが、これらの方法はすごい便利だと思います。以下のコメント欄でご意見を聞かせてください。日本語で話す必要はないと思いますが、多分あなたは自分自身に尋ねています。この人は誰？なぜ私はこのビデオを見てるのですか？本当に日本語を話せるの？長い紹介もいいです。トピックについて話しましょう。First one on my list is have a handy dandy notebooks. oh, look at this. This is my drawing. By the way, since I started learning Japanese, I have these little notebooks where I write Japanese vocabulary, kanji characters, and sentence patterns that I find useful. I write it down because I want to have a reference at times that I want to remember them. And I do a quick run-through review whenever I have free time. This is so nostalgic. Look at this. Japanese in this side and then English in this side right here. So I started doing this technique years ago when I found out that there are numerous studies that suggest writing things down can actually help you remember better. In studying a language, you should study vocabulary words progressively so that when time comes, all the learned words will accumulate and you can make sentences or you can participate in a conversation in Japanese language. I also have a pattern on how to do notes for it to be more effective. I'll explain further when we go to number 2, use new words in a sentence. Again, for better memorization. I noticed that I remember new Japanese words when I use them in a sentence. This is how I actually do it. For example, you encounter the word subarashi, meaning great or wonderful in English language. So you put the Japanese word here and the meaning in English. You need to write it on a sentence for you to remember it easier. For example, we will use subarashi in a sentence. Jo Caballes wa subarashi ne. Nande mada subscribe shite nai no? In that way, you are not just remembering the word itself, but also practicing and remembering how to use it. Number 3 is study kanji with mnemonics. If you saw the first part of the video, then maybe you already know how to do this one. Then it is easier to remember. Let's take the kanji of kuruma. This is the kanji character of car. If you just remember it by the way it is written, then it might be challenging to remember. But if you imagine it this way, ancient times, they did not have cars yet. Instead, they had chariots or carts, right? Kuruma is actually a top view of it, origin of that kanji character. If you have that image embedded into your mind, then I think it's easier to recall it than next time you see that kanji. That's why I suggest that you study kanji in that way. And of course, it needs repetition. If you add repetition technique, then it will boost your development easier and faster. Number 4 is set a small term goal. To prevent frustration in your journey towards learning Japanese, I suggest that you will set a small term goals. What I mean by that, for you to monitor yourself, for you to know if you are stepping up or not. How to actually do this one. Instead of studying random sentence pattern, grammar, or words, try to study the words that are suited to your current level. Example, if you are a beginner, you should study N5, which is the lowest or the most basic level of Japanese. As you are studying it, you will notice it's getting easier and easier So that means that you're actually learning it. That's the time that you will step up or move on to the next level, which is N4. That way you can monitor your progress and will inspire you to step up. And number 5, incorporate Japanese learning into your hobby or hobbies if you have a few more. I like music and I play a few instruments. I like singing, but singing doesn't love me back. But still, I try to sing Japanese songs. Songs are so emotional. If you put emotion and also learning at the same time, it retains better than just information that doesn't contain emotional factor. So you can learn deeper words there. You can learn kanji also if you read Japanese songs. And if you memorize it, of course, you will also memorize the meaning of it. It will add onto your vocabulary and it will make you more fluent also. And if you don't like singing, some of my friends are so fluent in Japanese because they do Japanese learning and also watching anime. Now watching anime without subtitles, how awesome is that, right? So you can also do that one if you love animes. So that was it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I reached this level by doing those techniques and it worked for me. I hope it will also work for you. I will be posting more of this kind of videos, and I am actually writing a segment right now where I will teach actual Japanese grammar and words in this channel. So if you're into it, you can subscribe. You can like also if you find value in this video. And take care always. Love you all and peace.